So by that being said, when I'm looking at all around and the all around player, the skill set, and who brings more to the table, it's James Harden. And it's not, to me, it's
so
apples
Harden
and oranges.
Steph are both available.
Even,
you're taking Harden to start your team.
It's proven. When James Harden left Oklahoma City, by the way, he won 6th Man of the Year playing with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. As soon as he stepped foot into the Rockets franchise, he made that franchise relevant again, Max. And I'm not discrediting Steph.
James Harden is a great player.
Hall of Famer, but he's a better all-around player than Steph Curry.
Oh my God. This is really still a thing. We're still on this debate. So as you can see from the clip I showed at the start of the video, people are still putting Harden above Curry all time. And by the way, I am aware this is Kendrick Perkins we're talking about, who doesn't exactly have the best history with Steph Curry, but there are a lot of people who are actually going along with this. And so today we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to be giving some simple yet needed common sense into this argument and why Steph Curry is a better player than James Harden. I can't believe I'm doing this. But before we begin, if you're new here, I'm Double D. I'm a huge basketball fan. I make NBA videos here on YouTube every week. So if you're also an NBA fan, or just a basketball fan in general, feel free to hit the sub button and click the bell to be notified when I upload. But also before we begin, I wanted to personally thank each and every one of you because we hit 100 subs. And yes, I know this is very late, but I just wanted to thank everyone here who's been a part of it. And if you're not part of it, I mean the sub button is right there and it takes 1 second. Did you do it? Alright, let's get into the video. So this debate has actually been going on for a while now. Ever since 2015 when Steph Curry won the MVP and some people made the argument that it should have gone to Harden. And then Curry went on to destroy the Houston Rockets in the conference finals, averaging 31 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, and 2 steals while shooting 51% from the field and 49% from 3. While James Harden in this series averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 2.5 steals while shooting 47% overall and 43% from 3. And while these are good numbers, Harden went on to have possibly the worst elimination game that I have ever seen in my life, scoring 14 points on 2 for 11 shooting to go along with 12 turnovers. And by the way, 10 of those 14 points came from free throws. And so began the common occurrence of the Warriors beating the Rockets in the playoffs, with Harden again losing to Golden State in 2016 despite Curry only playing in 1.5 games in the series. Again in 2018, which you can make the argument that they could have won, but when you blow 15 plus point leads in both games 6 and 7 and miss 27 straight threes, I'm not sure. But then you get to last season where Golden State again eliminates them despite not having Kevin Durant for half of Game 5 and all of Game 6, the same guy that Houston fans swore was one of the only reasons they couldn't beat the Warriors. And so that gives Steph Curry either a 3-0 or 4-0 record versus James Harden, depending on whether you want to count 2016 or not. And so there's the team aspect of this argument, but now we're going to talk about individually. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about each of these guys and comparing them individually, which at first glance may seem like a close argument, but once you actually look into everything, you start to see that it's not actually that close at all. You see tweets about these guys all the time, and so I'm just going to go through and talk about the most common reasons why people have Harden over Curry. But before that, let's talk about their careers. Alright, so Actually, no, we're going to the black screen for these. Okay, so Steph Curry is a 3-time champion, 2-time MVP, 1 being unanimous, 6-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, with 3 of those being first-team selections, a scoring title, a steals title, and is a member of the 50-40-90 club. James Harden is a 1-time MVP, 8-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, with 5 of those being first-team selections, 2 scoring titles, and led the league in assists in 2017. James Harden for his career averages 25 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.7 steals, and shoots 44% overall and 36% from 3. Steph Curry for his career averages 23.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists, and 1.8 steals, and shoots 47% overall and 44% from 3. So both pretty respectable careers, but again, you don't actually get the full picture until you look further. And so, let's talk about it. Steph's best scoring year was 30.1 points per game, and James Harden's best scoring year was 36.1. But you also have to look at efficiency. Steph got his 30 points on 50% from the field, 45% on threes, and 90% on free throws. James Harden got his 36 on 44% from the field, 37% from 3, and 88% on free throws. So Curry's was more efficient, and he did in less minutes. Steph played 34 minutes and Harden played 37. A small difference, but it's still a difference. But next we're going to talk about playmaking, which by the way is so much more than just assists. Steph Curry does most of his playmaking from attracting defense on and off the ball, which opens up the floor for his teammates. James Harden does his playmaking by attracting defenses with his ball handling and driving kicks. But how is Harden's off-ball movement compared to Steph's? Oh wow, that's cool. It's close, but I'm giving the edge to Curry, and you can call me biased, but whatever. But one thing that Harden's done over the last few seasons is popularize the step back. So how do they compare in that? Well, James Harden for his career shoots 41.7% on all step backs and 39.7% on step back threes. And Steph Curry shoots 61.5% overall and 64% on step back threes. He is beating him at his own game. Okay, so what are we on to now? Better finisher. The great part is, I don't even need to do any work for this one. I just need to show these two graphics next to each other. And, wow, there is a lot of red on Steph Curry's side. And so that's pretty much that. Rebounding is pretty much the same, steals is pretty much the same, and Curry has an edge on him in turnovers by averaging less. Okay, so now let's talk about clutch moments. And this is one of the most common things that Harden fans say, it's that Harden shows up more than Curry. So let's fact check that. We'll go playoffs since that's the most clutch stats. James Harden has been in 14 elimination games and has a 7-7 record, putting up 26.7 points, 6 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, and shooting 41% from the field and 36% from 3. Steph Curry has played in 11 elimination games. He has a 7-4 record and puts up averages of 28.5 points, 7 rebounds, 7.6 assists, and shoots 43% from the field and 38% from 3. But once again, the answer becomes much clearer when you look deeper. In the fourth quarter of playoff games overall, James Harden shoots 43, 28, 84. Steph Curry shoots 46, 43, 98. And so that goes to Steph. In the last 5 minutes of playoff games, margin of 5 points or less, Harden shoots 36% from the field overall, 15% from 3. And Curry shoots 37% overall, but he shoots 39% from 3. So he beats him there too. Last 2 minutes, margin of 5 points or less, Harden shoots 32% overall and 12% from 3. Steph Curry shoots 40% overall and 46% from 3. And of course, on game-tying and go-ahead shots in the last 24 seconds of playoff games, James Harden shoots 1 for 12. And Steph Curry shoots 4 for 14. So basically in this video, we have very quickly established Curry as the better shooter, duh, the better playmaker, determined that the rebounding and defense can't definitively be put over one another. Steph is by far the more efficient scorer. He performs better in elimination games and in the clutch and turns the ball over less. I'm done, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit dislike if you all of a sudden don't believe in numbers. But I also want you to notice that I didn't mention rings at any point throughout this entire video except when I was listing their accomplishments. All these comparisons were player versus player instead of team versus team because yes, I know having Kevin Durant on your team helps you win. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video anyway. Subscribe if you're new, comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.
James, I noticed that you think you can sing, but this is the remix with Steph and Curry. You should probably not quit your day job, so put down that mic and stick with basketball.